I think it's time that we get this party really going.
The Narcopath. And I've got a public service announcement for you. This is directed to all of you hoax-tards out there. All of you retarded conspiracy theorists. I noticed a resurgence of news about the Sandy Hook tragedy, and I'm getting sick of you all. All of you people claiming it was fake. How could you? My heart goes out to all the families who lost their innocent children. Children that never even had a chance to explore life. But I'm especially feeling the poor parents of Noah Posner. I feel so sorry for them because they not only had to go through the horror of losing their child in the Sandy Hook shooting, but they had to relive the whole thing all over again when he died again in a Pakistan school shooting. So please, have some respect. These people are grieving. Do you not know what that means?
So, how'd I do? That's my first audition. You see, I'm gonna go onto web pages when obvious government-sponsored hoaxes are being discussed, like the one I just mentioned. And I'm gonna be the one who goes in there to redirect the conversation, because usually everybody can see through it for what it is, and they're all talking about how fake it was on the newscast. My job is to go in there and tell them how wrong they are.
Now, of course, what's happened so far in my trial runs is they'll claim something's a hoax, which of course it is, and I know it is, but that's not my job to know what it is. So I will jump right in and say, how dare you say such things? There were no crisis actors at the Sandy Hook event. And of course they come back naming actual names of actors that are there, as in all of these hoaxes. But I just conveniently ignore the things they mention. And then I just go on about something else. And if they get me and they figure out that I have nothing intelligent to say, I just resort to calling them names. I call them all kinds of names. I exit that forum, and I move on to the next hoax.
You see, my new job title is I'm a shill. Look it up. I basically go in and cause trouble for propaganda purposes, because we can't let too many people know the truth. A few are going to figure it out, but it's my job to redirect the conversation, to make those who are on the fence and aren't quite sure which way they believe, to at least make them believe that there are those out there who still stick by the official story.
And you know what? I'm honestly thinking of changing my name to Sandy Hooker. Doesn't it have a nice ring to it? Sandy Hooker. Hi! I'm Sandy Hooker, your favorite Shill. I've got a wonderful news program for you tonight lined up.
Now, of course, I've gone above and beyond my normal Call of Duty to do my own research into this stuff. And basically it works like this. In the olden days, we had the news, and that was all we had. So if you wanted the scoop on something, you turned the news on, or you read the paper. Well, honey, times they are a-changing now that we have this thing called the internet, where anybody and everybody can post their thoughts.
Well, these mainstream media, who, by the way, all newspapers, all mainstream television news channels, all ABC, alphabet soup, are all owned by the same perverted fucks. They're controlling the flow of information. And they know that now that there's the form of internet, that independent thinkers and critical thinkers might see through their lies, which, by the way, has been fake from day one. But before, we didn't have anything else to compare it to. Now we do. So, hence, jobs like mine come into play. However, what goes on is that you'd normally think, well, who cares what a bunch of conspiracy theorists say? Who cares? They're a bunch of tinfoil hat fools. The problem is, on social media, there's a thing called a counter. And some of these news stations are intimidated because they see the number of views on their shows, which are like 50 views. But then they see these other people who have brains that are more intelligent than theirs, because they're reptilians. And these people seem to have the idea down and they know the real story. Well, the problem is they're threatened by this because some of these have like 50,000 views, some of them over 1 million views, and they realize that the public they're trying to influence is going elsewhere.
So they make up fake titles like fake news and totally disregard any respectable sense of journalism by simply stating, oh, this is a new story, oh, it's fake news, without bothering to tell you what's fake about it, how it's fake, what investigation was done to it, conclude it was fake. They just expect you to believe it. And I'm telling them, honey, you need to do a better job. And of course, they don't want to hear what I have to say, but I try. Like, honey, if you're going to call something fake, you better qualify it as fake. Don't just expect the public to take your nasty word for it. And I almost lost the job for that one, but I'm the Narcopath. I tell it like it is. What do you think?
So, how did I keep my job? Well, I'm glad you asked. I happen to know that the producer of that particular project likes transgenders. He's all part of the New World Order. So, I simply flashed him some of my parts, and he was putty in my hand. And I told him I was just kidding. He bought it. You should learn from me, honey. It'll get you everywhere. I mean, come on. Some of these reptilian shapeshifters who run this business are totally primitive. I tried to convince one of them, but they need somebody just like me to be the consultant.
I mean, come on. I only state the obvious to them. Like some of these retarded hoaxes they try to pull off as real, such as, for example, the 9/11. Are you kidding me? Everything, including all the people, all the bodies, all the planes, just vanished? Just disappeared? Just pulverized into dust? And then, miraculously, one of the fake hijackers' passport just happens to fall onto the street nearby. I said, honey, the people aren't going to buy that. You know what? Hire me on as your consultant, and I'll take you places. And I think he's considering it.
And you know, I kind of can't help but think this might be my new calling. Because after all, well, they're all psychopaths. Well, I'm a narcopath, which technically we're related. So I said, honey, you need a younger person's viewpoint to help you with some of your future hoaxes because the public ain't buying it anymore. And it's not going to be long before they're at your door, knocking it over, demanding retribution.
You know, I'll tell you why I think I might be a shoo-in. Well, first off, with my comments and my suggestions, the guy in charge, he just thought I was some bimbo, transgendered boy with big teeth. I wasn't to be listened to. But when I shape-shifted for him, I'll show you what I did.
I said, honey, you're pumping a dry well here. Nobody else can shape-shift as well as I do. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. And I guarantee you won't regret it.
Well, after I switched back to this version of myself,
He was pretty much putty in my hand. Especially after I showed him my genitalia. I've got multiple parts. I've got boy parts and girl parts and transhuman parts. I'm a shoe-in.
look, before you even consider judging me, look at my situation. It's either this or the slammer, and I'm not interested in going back to that orange murder suit. It didn't go with my complexion. So, I'm using my talent the way I know how, and I'm serving my cunt. 3. I'm looking for some crisis actors. I placed an ad on Craigslist, but I'd rather reach out to my viewers here. It's gonna have the usual. The shooter's gonna be non-existent for one, but for 2, he's gonna be previously investigated by the FBI. Yawn. I told him that was tired, but...
And the shooter, who again doesn't exist, but he's going to talk about how ISIS is responsible for his behavior and that he's hearing voices. And I said, honey, you need to be more original, but they don't care about my opinion. But I'm just letting you know, look out for it, because it's going to be real.
And you may wonder, what's the point of all this? Well, it's really quite simple. The government wants your guns. The government wants your freedom. The government wants everything from you. So they know that if they were just to announce tomorrow, we're going to put severe restrictions on your freedom, the people would revolt. So instead, they employ people like me with my talent to be involved in these phony events. And they make them sound as dramatic as possible, so it seems like it's horrifying So then the public outcries, please, you must do something for us. And then, of course, they unleash the plan they had from the beginning, which is to take away more of our freedoms. Isn't that a brilliant idea? I say it's tired, true, and sick. They need to come up with something better, but again, they don't care about my opinion.